Hi and welcome to this food truck catering trailer build. One of my friends approached me and asked if I fancied taking on a project. Where we are based is a garden centre, and the idea is to build this catering trailer to build onto everything else that we've already got here. So he's asked me to do the build. Usually I do chainsaw carving, those who follow me already know. But I don't mind turning my hand to any kind of projects, really. So yeah, he bought me a second-hand trailer. Well, it's one that he used to use for building. But I had some issues. Where he's been loading its centre at bed, it had obviously dipped a bit. And with him wanting the sides extending to 8 foot and the rear extending by about 1.5 foot, I had to run the joists lengthways first before I put the secondary joists on to widen it. So as you can see here, I'm just sort of getting everything lined up and ready to drill and bolt down. It's going to be quite a sufficiently big project, really. Not like your little small catering trailers that just are sort of burgers and bacon cobs, if you get me. So I think he's wanting to do jacket potatoes, paninis, coffees, and possibly your usual sandwiches as well. But yeah, he got AI to generate me a picture of the type of thing he was wanting. So basically, he bought me a trailer, gave me a picture, and just said, "Can you build me that?" I'm not a qualified joiner or anything, but I can learn. I mean, I taught myself how to chainsaw carve, but I like big projects and I like learning as I go along. Obviously, making mistakes is all part of it. But yeah, once all main struts were bolted down and fastened down, started getting the sort of floor joists in place where I wanted them. Made a couple of mistakes on the way through. I ended up coming back and starting from the front when I fastened them, actually. It made it a bit easier because it's not true to board size, if you get me. It's not fully 8 foot by 4 foot in length. So yeah, once I got stuff down, what I ended up doing with the centre 3 rails is packing washers under and screwing directly through. That just allowed for that intolerance of the bed, and work that as we went along, because everywhere was slightly different. You got some that were sort of 2-3 mil out, and you got a couple that were up to 15 mil out. So yeah, using packers and spacers, that it just creates a more solid bond. But yeah, once floor were in place, it weren't too bad at all. So it soon got round that right, it's time to sort of start on walls and see where we go and build it from there. I mean, I've done this over about a week and a half. I've been struggling really bad with my back again, but that's known issues. I weren't keen on doing it like as you see here, where I'm just filling the gaps with noggins. I would have rather sort of trimmed the 8 foots down and done them as a full length. I think in hindsight, if I do ever do another one, I'll make sure to do that, and it just allows for a bit more, and it seems a bit more sturdier on the base. I mean, don't get me wrong, once the walls go up, it is structurally sound. It's well fastened to base, and the walls, once they all tie in, it really does grab hold. As you can see, I'm just finishing last of the noggins off on them ends of that. And it was absolutely red hot. I think we're at 31, 32 degrees. And yeah, I started early in the morning as well to kind of get everything done before it got too hot. But it's absolutely crazy. The thing I like about builds like this is you can take your time doing bits, but your ideas slightly change as you go along. So you might think, oh, I'll do it like this because it'll suit this, but when you come to build it, you think, oh no, I'd prefer it to suit something else or work in a different manner. So yeah, you change attributes on a self-build as you're going along, because it's one of them projects that you constantly think about while you're doing it. So you'll get into a project and you think, oh, I'd like to change this style and or this part of the build and just extend something, or it's like with this one, it's going to have 2 hatches, but a centre down the middle, so you're not bearing too much weight on one big hatch. But you'll see that as we get into it. So here we are, getting the stud work up for the 2 side walls. I did actually mess up a little bit. The 2 outer rails, I didn't put the correct gap in. I actually came a little bit short on them, but it wasn't really problematic. It's just one of them things that I slipped up and messed up, basically. It's no detriment to build or safety or anything. It's just when you're boarding on, obviously the wood won't be where you're expecting it to be, so I'll have to just make sure I don't miss with nail gun. But yeah, they're up and braced, and once I got them up, started to get a better idea and a feel for it, because it's it works out that from the bottom of the base with the roof on, it's going to be nearly 9 foot. Maybe 8.5. Obviously there's a couple of extra bits involved in there, so it's quite a tall unit for just a normal trailer. So getting the rigidity was absolute. It's got to be very safe, especially if it's going to be towed at any point. I mean, this is going to be situated somewhere roughly where we are doing the build. But yeah, you've got to kind of think well in front, and the dynamics of, because it's going to have a big front board, and if you're towing, you've got a lot of windage in that. So you've got to be prepared to put that extra bracing in, and even turning corners and stuff, you get forces exerting to the sides. So as I do go through the build, especially once the boarding's on, I'm going to put a lot more sort of battens and angles in, just to sort of give it that rigidity. I mean, who knows, the lad I'm building it for might not end up keeping it. He might end up selling it on. So it's got to be kind of future-proof, if you get me. So it's not going to have any problems as soon as somebody wants to tow it or anything like that. Obviously, as you can see, the 2 side walls are quite epic. I'd never managed them on my own. But yeah, these are just braces, just hold things in place while I get it ready. I don't know what I tried to do there, like a quick snapshot, but... And here we are, getting the final wall in place. This was a bit more awkward because I had to kind of build it off of the edge. Obviously, I had to pull it forward, pull it back and in when we raised this wall. But there's not as much into this. It was more of getting the hatch openings in the right area. So I've done 2 2-metre hatch openings. I've done like an L-bar, as you can see there. It'll just help carry that weight and support that broad gap with any more structural work that needs to go on top of it, really. The bit at the back, the wider gap that you can see, obviously that's going to be where the door is and the entrance. I've done that for a standard house door. You'll see more of that actually as I go around and put the noggins in. But yeah, it's just putting bits together and building. It's like a big jigsaw, really. I made a couple of mistakes with cutting. I think everybody will. Like I say, I'm not a joiner by trade, but I'm not too bad with a screwdriver and an hammer. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it actually getting the cladding on, because he's decided he's going to board it with, I think, ply or OSB. And then he's going to use like a plastic wood-looking cladding. So he wants it to look like a more authentic type hut than just like a roadside caravan, if you get me. Something a bit more bespoke and easier on the eyes. I suppose that'll suit better with obviously serving really nice coffees and proper beans for the coffees. Sort of more high-end food than just a quick butty. But yeah, that's the you can see where the hatches are now. That's the tops of where they're going to be. And if you notice in background, there's some smoke. There were field on fire just over the back of us. There were fire engines coming in and out. But yeah, this is the last bit of the framing work before boarding. Obviously, I'm running the centre noggins in. Done them at the 4 foot height, ready to board straight onto. At the top, there will have to be an extra run of boarding because it's, like I say, it's going to be probably ½ inch difference. But at the top, that'll be absolutely fine. I did struggle like hell with my back trying to get up and down them ladders. It weren't really a good idea. But with it being such a high trailer, obviously see that batten I'm putting in now is where the hatch will serve from. So the staff inside will have to bend down slightly just to pass the goods over. But that's all going to be built in part of design. So yeah, it's really, really coming to shape now. As you can see, here's a couple of pictures of how far I've got. So the next video I'm going to do is the boarding and the cladding. We'll get them done, and I might do a separate one for the hatches. So yeah, come and join me again, guys, and follow this all the way through. It'd be great.